throw first. Game.
Right, the big news from day 2 of the Czech Darts Open is that Matt Edgar, not a fan of Ramstein. Not a popular view on the European Tour.
140.
Interesting this one though. You're right, I think Schindler is undoubtedly the leading light in Germany, and he is the most successful German player PDC Darts has ever seen.
140.
But what they need now is strength in depth, and with the likes of Nico Springer coming up on the rails as a very, very highly rated talent, rated incredibly highly by Max Hopp himself, then Martin Schindler might not be ploughing a lone furrow in terms of German darts. He might have some support in terms of not, this huge darting nation nowadays of Germany is not just solely reliant on one character to go and do the business for it.
And that's how it's been, isn't it? Not just in regards to Martin Schindler's shoulders, but that's what it was like for Max Hopp. That's what it was like for Gabriel Clemens. Didn't really have other people alongside them. When you look at nations like the Netherlands, the amount of players that they've got coming through all the time. And I fully agree. Nico Springer is on my shortlist. I picked 4 players who I think are going to do very good things at the back end of 2025. And Springer was on that list of 4. He was exceptional last night as well in defeating Joe Cullen. He'll be coming up.
Yeah, one of the most dramatic games you've seen so far this weekend, surviving 4 match starts on the rock star Nico Springer. But some amazing finish. He is a thirsty lad, isn't he? Great handfuls of Gambrinus for that man.
If that was me, I'd fall over, spill them all, be laid in it.
On purpose, or was this just the sort of thing that happens to me?
Yeah, it just seems to happen to me all the time.
Okay. Yeah, don't do it on purpose.
6. Madars require
A chance for Madars. These 80 checkouts can be awkward. Okay, no blocker dart now. Double 10.
70. Martin Uruguay 112.
Still on. Can't rescue it with the treble 19. So Martin Schindler in very real danger of being broken. Obelix is here. He usually is.
In the split here, Madars Razma give himself 2 darts at the double 4.
Games on first leg, Madars.
Splits and hits, gets the breaker throw in the opening leg.
Throw first. Game.
Kind of a weird quirk that these two haven't run into each other in PDC Dart. Regulars in Pro Tour events. Martin Schindler, not a guy who skips much, if anything at all. And he's been going quite deep into a lot of them, so he's playing a lot of games, but just not run into Madars. He has a very good record against Madars Razma, and that is despite the fact that Martin Schindler has certainly ascended to a new tier of darts player over the last couple of years when they've not even met. So even when he wasn't quite as good as he is now, he was still winning 70% of his games.
Madars Razma on a stage, though, is just a little bit different, isn't he? Very, very good stagecraft. Very good at managing himself up there. I think he's a very, very awkward and tricky player to play on the European Tour stage.
Yeah, and just demonstrating his prowess on that treble 19 that you pointed out yesterday. But Martin Schindler, very much one of the biggest 180 hitters around. Big scorer is the little man from Strasbourg. Number 6.
82. Martin Uruguay 121.
Oh, he's got a dart at the bullseye to get his throw back.
90.
Just pulls in a little bit low there, and Madars Razma. Opportunity here to double his lead on what is a bit of a bonus opportunity here on the European Tour.
Double 3.
Six.
The bonus opportunity is not taken. Good leg of darts. Madars nearly winning it with a 12-darter, but 4 missed darts at double. But he's going to get more.
Madars will require 6.
So we start here from Martin Schindler. What do you expect these days?
Games on second leg, Madars Razma.
It's not the way he intended to do it, but he got it done in the end there, Madars Razma. You mentioned the bonus opportunity that this presents. Standing in as an alternative, Gary Anderson not taking his place in the lineup.
80.
Means that Madars Razma stepping in off the reserve list after losing in the final to Decker around about a month ago in the qualifiers.
Yeah, and already gone further than Core, who had a very strange game with Dirk van Dijvenbode yesterday, which was simultaneously amazing and a bit dodgy. We nearly saw Core come back from 4-0 down. Very odd game of darts, but Dirk prevailing, it means he'll have a go at the defending champion and world number 1, Luke Humphries.
96.
It's on the way this evening. Very different atmosphere, though, isn't it, that Madars Razma's having to deal with. Yesterday, there's Unya. It was absolutely electric in here, and everyone was against him. Just a little bit more subdued this afternoon, despite the fact the crowd 3 times the size.
$59.
Yeah, good crowd. About 2,500 in this afternoon. We're looking at more than 3,000, maybe possibly close to 3,500 this evening.
100.
It's a frustrating one for Shindy, straying into the 7th segment, and even though he got the treble, leaves bogey number.
Frustrating before, it won't be fatal here. Madars Razma guaranteed a shot of that 70 for a double breaker throw. We've seen Schindler make big comebacks on the European Tour before. Most notable that final against Ryan Searle in Switzerland last year. Don't feel like you've got as much time in these early rounds. Race to 6. Razma could be halfway there with this bullseye.
45. Martin, you require
Can't get much
40.
closer. Well, a little yelp there from Martin Schindler as he eventually pins the double. It's taken him half a dozen darts to hit one. That Luke Humphries Dirk van Dijvenbode game I mentioned is in the same section of the draw as this one, so the winner of that game will face the winner of this one. And because it is such a stacked lineup this weekend with pretty much everybody turning up, it means that whoever takes the title, the theoretical route to glory this weekend is absolutely brutal. There's no section of the draw you're looking at going, well, maybe I wouldn't mind being there. It's just major champions and world champions and Euro Tour winners everywhere.
140.
I was talking about this yesterday, about how a few years back it was, I don't want to be in Michael van Gerwen's half of the draw. Then it's turned to, well, you've got a Luke in each half of your draw, so you kind of want to be in the bottom half of your half. And then now when you look in there, as you dig even deeper, you've got the likes of Josh Rock, who's playing the darts of his life. You've got the likes of Gerwyn Price coming back into form. There's no nice section nowadays where you can go, I'd rather be there.
Yeah, it's the drum I've been beating for ages. The strength in depth, yes, you've got these amazing players at the very top, but there are players capable of the spectacular. Dirk van Dijvenbode hasn't won one of these, but Dirk is quite capable of averaging 110 later on tonight and smashing up the top-ranked player on the planet.
116.
Madars going through with his routine, starts way back just outside the exclusion zone and steps up to the oche and into the first shot. Can't find his way through.
56. Martin, you require 110.
I was looking at the treble 20 thinking he could stay there with that lie, but he loves the double 18. A 110 finish there for Martin Schindler's leveled things back up. The Madars Razma lead has evaporated.
So, slightly easing the worries of Mrs. Shindler, sat down on the friends and family table. Rare appearance from the Shindler family. He took a decision last year, Martin. He used to have his manager slash coach slash business partner, Johannes, who you might remember from playing the old PDC tournament. He used to turn up, but he said, you know, I want to focus on myself. I don't want anybody else there with me, friends, family, manager, anything. Then I can just go, the only person I have to worry about is myself. Don't have to worry about them wanting food or travel or anything like that. I can focus on my game. And look, it's paid dividends. The man's been winning titles.
I get that. I really do. There's a lot of times where you've got your partner with you and you're almost worried that they're just sat on their own and they've just sort of been left out, and you go off into a different area, because where the practice boards are, it's different to where the friends and family sit. So you go off to the practice board area, you're in there 2-3 hours, and you sort of left them by themselves. So I absolutely get that train of thinking, and fair play to him for taking that dive. And I mean, having that conversation must have been a tricky one in the first place, to sort of say to your partner, well, kind of don't want you to be there.
97.
Yeah, they'll all have, you know, you speak to somebody like Glenn Durrant, who he thinks the most important thing is having the right people with you at all times. Different players have different approaches. Martin Schindler is very much, I am here for work. This is business.
170.
I'm doing some serious business on the Euro Tour this last couple of years. #1 in Europe last year. Second only to Nathan Aspinall this year in terms of money won. So this would be a scout for Madars Razma. Can't get the treble. It's not going to be back-to-back 10+ finishes for Schindler.
Did the hard work, didn't he, Martin Schindler, getting it back. But this is the routine that Madars Razma likes to go through. Very, very measured approach. Very enviable approach for a lot of people there from Madars Razma. To be able to break the rhythm and the flow and come and deliver the way he does.
Yeah, he's not quite Happy Gilmore, is he? But he does really step into the first dart. It's not a run-up, but it is kind of a fluid movement to walk up to the hockey and then he's into the throw-in action.
The Happy Gilmore of darts. I don't think that he's ever been called that before, but it may stick.
He's also an interesting one, Madars, in that you'll watch it. Martin Schindler here, he'll take his position on the hockey, same position each time, and whatever he's throwing out on the board, he will stand in that position, unless, of course, he's got to block a dart and he feels he has to change the angle. Madars Razma usually throws down one straight line. And so if he's throwing at 6-6, he'll move over in line with 6-6. If he's throwing at 16, he'll move over in line with that. So he's shuffling back and forth like one of those grabber machines at the arcade, just to try and get the line right. Now on treble 20, treble 19, he's treble 17 there, he's not moving. But if he goes to left or right, he will completely change the line, because he's just trying to throw in a straight line. It does make a lot of sense, but it is a bit of a rhythm rule for him.
I think he's a fascinating player to watch.
97.
In regards to his understanding of what's going on the stage, the pacing of the game. He stands at the back of the stage and he just starts walking, and Schindler's not even moved, but he's worked out the pace. He's worked out the rhythm of the game. He's got a good read on things. Very thinking dart player. You can tell he works very hard on the psychological side of the game.
99.
And on these key moments, just takes a little longer, just measured approach. One treble 20 here will give him a dart, the bullseye, to re-establish that two-leg advantage.
90.
Once again, it's a bullseye in the setup to leave himself on tops. Once again, Schindler's looking at a ton-plus combination. Might get it this time. And he does. Well, these combo finishes are having a huge impact on this game. Schindler has had a look at them for the last 3 legs. 2 have gone, 1 hasn't.
So it feels like he's had to take the shots though as well, doesn't he, Martin Schindler? Not quite on his game at the moment, just averaging under 90. Which is a little lower than what we'd expect on a regular basis from Martin Schindler, certainly over the last 12 months. So he's having to take out those sort of shots just to keep himself in touch.
Yeah, well, last year on the Euro Tour, across all the events, more than a dozen events, Martin Schindler was averaging around the 98-99 mark. Now that is world class, playing a lot of games. That's the first dart he's after. Even the flights were perfect.
140.
Once again, we have a bit of a rhythm change with Madars Razma. Such a hard player to try and work out and try and read. He's starting to get himself into that same bracket as the likes of Brendan Dolan.
95.
Right on cue, when we say the rhythm's starting to change. Brings round at the back of the stage for a little bit.
All 139. Martin, you go 147.
Well, he had a couple of big finishes, but nothing this big. It's not going to threaten.
100.
Does leave single to double.
71.
And another breaker throw in this game. 18 for double? Yep.
35. Martin, you require 47. And for 7 leg, Martin Schindler.
Well, for the first time in this fixture, Martin Schindler's taken the lead.
Game.
Sort of all been about Madars Razma and Martin Schindler just clinging on now. It'd be like the first game when Ross Smith got his nose in front, started to assert his authority on Andrew Gilding.
57.
We could be about to see the same here from the seeded Martin Schindler.
Well, his biggest weapon is his scoring, and he's not got that going in this game, Martin Schindler. But if he gets his nose in front without hitting all the ton 40s and ton 80s that you know he's got in his locker, you've got a real problem, because they will arrive at some point.
And 85.
That's the danger though, isn't it? That's where you panic sometimes when you're taking on an informed player or a seeded player like Martin Schindler. Because you feel like you've got to put them away when those opportunities are there. Because here comes that scoring power.
Only a second 180 of the match. Both of them have come from Schindler.
$59.
Would be the best leg of the match, this. On for an 11-darter. Madars needs 2 trebles just to get to a finish. And that won't count.
80. Martin, you require 86. $62.
So is it going to last? Regardless of what Madars Razma does here, Martin Schindler knows he's got 3 darts to break the throw.
Martin, you require 24.
He's got a real grip on this game.
Down to the end.
He was 2-0 down in this, Martin Schindler. He has not played particularly well, but he has still won 5 of the last 6 legs. And that finishing, those stats are good, but when you add in the 2-ton plus finishes, the 110 and the 112, with Madars sat on simple checkouts at the time, that feels, they're the key moments really. Madars Razma could have taken a a very good, strong lead in this game, were it not for the combination finishing of Shindler. And now he's starting to turn the screw. It feels like it anyway.
140.
Yeah, as soon as he got ahead, it just felt like he was going to put the foot on the gas and start to show his quality. He's starting to really assert himself now on that treble 20.
122.
And the treble 19.
Right, it's the sort of game where Martin Schindler, we said how he was averaging high 90s all the way through the Euro Tour last year. Now, sometimes he's played amazingly, but how many times do you see top players and you watch them and you go, right then, they've not been brilliant, but all of a sudden they go back-to-back 13 darters at the end of the game, their average shoots up by 5 points and they've won 163 averaging 97. You think, well, that's very good, but it's not felt like that all the way through. And he has looked a little vulnerable in this game, Martin Schindler. Madars Razma hasn't quite been able to punish him enough.
First game's always the hardest. Everyone always says it. Ross Smith just said it at the end of the victory over Andrew Gilding in the last, but just like getting through to that final day. And Madars Razma has got the benefit of being on the stage and having a game already. This is Martin Schindler's first time up there this weekend.
97. Madars Razma 164.
This would be some skin saver. Look at that, 100th of a point between him and the averages. Needed to follow and couldn't. Doesn't matter how many times you look at it, Madars, it's still not in. In
a game where Martin Schindler saved his skin earlier on with combination finishes, it almost feels fitting that he'd win it with a combination.
He might just do that. Match start, Shindler. And the wall pulls out his third ton-plus finish of the game. The two early on saved him from some real strife against the Latvian #1. And the last one, the coup de grace, a 6-3 win from 2-0 down. And the wall is still standing firm at the Czech Darts Open.